What's up, Night Nation? Eric DeSalvo here with Taylor A. Gerring. We're going to do an episode of Get to Know Taylor. We're going to go through where we are right now, what's bringing us talking to Taylor, the future of UCF athletics, the future of the Charge On Fund, Kingdom NIL, everything UCF is right here for you. I don't know if they can see the view. Can they see the view? Yeah. The view's incredible. Where are we right now?
We are in my hometown of Stuart, Florida. Grew up here quite a few years ago. Born in the local hospital. Did go up to Orlando and got some schooling. Moved on to Chicago, traveled the world, and decided I needed to come back.
Man, that's the quick, rapid, boom, boom, boom. I have a first real in-depth question, though. Knights or Nauts?
You know, man, space you all the way. Let's go Nauts.
That's it. We're done. I don't need any more questions here. I love that. I'll go both for sure. Yeah. We've got a place for two brands. Absolutely. It's 2002, 2003. Take me back to your decision to choose to go into UCF.
Wow. 2002 to 2003. I really got to think about this one.
Some good music.
Yeah.
Some good music.
I had made a friend who had gone up to UCF, and they had invited me up to see the gorgeous campus, hang out, enjoy the good times. And, man, it doesn't take long to fall in love with that whole experience, I'll tell you what. As I spent more time up there, I got to meet more people, got more involved in programs, and it hooked me so hard. I just couldn't turn back. So moved up to Orlando, and now I'm going back all the time.
And you came from State College in State, right?
Yep. I did the whole Bright Futures. I think I had 75% paid for by the state. Yep. Then I had to find the rest of the money from other scholarships. Didn't grow up in a super fortunate situation, so trying to pay my own way through school through working and finding the scholarships where I could, and that helped a ton. And I definitely think because I received those benefits way back then, it's a reason that now that I'm in a position to be able to reciprocate, I feel so strongly that I've got to be able to do this because it was a huge opportunity for me.
That's awesome. For nostalgia's sake, we've got a lot of people who are going to watch here who are UCF alumni and have probably gone to UCF in that time frame. One, where did you live when you went to UCF?
I guess it was called Pegasus Landing before, but
Peggy Landing.
Yeah. Knights Crossing, also one of those names.
Yep.
Yeah. Right across the street. Not on campus housing, but affiliated, right? And you had the benefit of the buses, which was really nice to get on and off campus because parking's a nightmare.
Yep.
That was a great little spot. I recently walked through campus, had a little extra time before a game, and was showing a friend around and kind of showing him the old hallway, right next to the student union where it comes out, where the bookstore
Washington
was.
Center,
Yep, and the copy center back when people, I don't know if people make copies anymore.
They get passports there now.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's insane. And now it's a whole bunch of other different things, and there's all these other sides of campus. It's really incredible to see how much things have changed over the years.
Take us back to campus. When you would go to a basketball game or a football game, those weren't at the same spots.
No, and to be honest, I never went to a basketball game when I was a student. I mean, frankly, the fact that I started going to football games, I think is kind of a miracle in and of itself. So the fact that I'm going to both of those and baseball and looking to go to tennis this weekend, it's who is this guy? I don't recognize him from so many years ago.
Do you recall your first football game?
Definitely not. I definitely was enjoying the party. I'm sure I was not in at the start of the game. I could not tell you who it was. I can tell you who I was with. I was with my co-ed fraternity, Delta Sigma Pi. There's a business fraternity, one of two on campus at the time. And man, what a great group of people. Really helped me integrate and socially and have friends on campus and introduced me to the sporting events generally.
And you graduated what year?
So I went to school from 2003 to 2005.
Okay. And what was your postgraduate plan at that point?
I thought at the time I wanted to do a graduate degree, I think in part because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. For a variety of reasons, that didn't work out. And gosh, what happened? I guess I just took a job, like, pretty crappy paying job, maybe not doing the kinds of things I want to do out of school. Like it's, work. Yeah. And then I got another job and one thing led to another. But, I don't know that I had any specific route or plan of like, I want to become this. I just knew I was really good at computers and IT and I needed to put that skill to use. And I was in a position where I needed to like pay for myself to live. Like I didn't have anybody else supporting me. So I just had to like use my skills to survive.
And those first jobs, one of them took you up to Chicago, right?
Yeah. One of the jobs led me up to Chicago. I worked near Mall at Millennia for a while under a Clear Channel brand. And so we did a lot of work for all the radio stations across the country. I think there's like 250 servers all across the nation that we were managing. And that controlled like their billing system and their commercial scheduling and music scheduling and all kinds of stuff. Eventually there was a changeover of teams there, and kind of like the leader of our team took a job up in Chicago for the Tribune Company that owns Chicago Trib, Orlando Sentinel, and LA Times, a bunch of other papers. So that kind of became a transition job for me in a way where, they had Orlando down here and they also had Chicago up there. And for me, I had to move as part of the job. But it worked out for me because I was kind of getting tired of Florida humidity at the time. And I needed the change of pace. And Chicago turned out to be a really, really great place that led on to many other super things happening in my life. So it was a great move. I wanted to move to New York, and who knows where things would have went. It's a fine town on its own. But it feels like the universe wanted me to be in Chicago.
And how many years were you in Chicago?
I clock it as a dozen years, 2008 to 2020.
Okay.
I did leave to go to Switzerland for a year and travel Europe for a little bit in there. So it's like you could deduct a couple of years, but I put in 10 solid winters, paid my dues.
10 winters up there is infinity here. So
my first winter up there actually was one of the heavier precip years, and there was so much snow that it was just like trying to get from the train to home on its own was treacherous, and I just had to buy new boots. But you can't buy those kinds of boots down here in Florida, right? Or coats. You really have to like figure out where to shop up there. So half of the problem was, where do I even go to get this gear? And I think I moved up in October. So like winter was like very quickly.
There's nothing on sale at that point.
No. So I had to, struggle a little bit and kind of find my way. But it worked out, and I was able to survive those 10 winters.
I know we've got a lot of Chicago nights, and you were very involved in the alumni chapter up there. Take us to those days being involved with UCF Chicago.
Let's see. Going all the way back, I'd have to double check the year exactly, but there was a place called Goldie's, and we just happened to be lucky enough that one of the bartenders had some connection to UCF. I don't know if he went here or if he grew up in Orlando or what exactly the story was, but they had cheap beer, $1 or $2 PBRs, and they always managed to pull the projector screen down because it was a dive bar. They didn't have like TVs everywhere. And they'd hook up the laptop and get the sound going, and start with just a few of us. But me and my buddy George, we've been there for however many long years, and we forged a friendship over watching these games and saw the club change into a chapter. And he's the president there now, so it's like we've seen so much happen. But that group, in a very similar way to Delta Sigma Pi, was super, super duper instrumental into me hooking into UCF and finding a bunch of friends. And it's kind of like the way the university keeps giving back long after the degree is done.
That alumni chapter, when you started there, how many people do you think were involved? You said it was a club at first. How many people were involved, do you think?
It felt like there was like one or two quote unquote old timers that would come. And then it was like me and George, and I don't remember how the snowball effect really happened. But it was just like little after little of keep going to the games, keep showing up, being consistent, and you build that momentum, really. And other people start showing up, and we see it all the time in the way the sports work. Like there's momentum in the game itself, and trying to keep that momentum going in the clubs or chapters. It was a great time that we were able to build things up and transition to like the larger entity. I don't think they make that distinction anymore, but that was like a real goal for us. I think much in the way that UCF has always been working their way up through the conference ranks. And it hasn't been like, hey, let's just try to shoot for the moon. Let's really do the work that we need to one step at a time to make it. And it felt like we were trying to build something up there.
Do you recall a specific game that comes to mind watching at one of these bars, an iconic moment in UCF football history? Were you at one of the bars when Rashad Perriman got the Hail Mary against East Carolina on Thursday night, 2014?
I probably, am being honest, was in Europe in 2014 doing in Ethereum stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I definitely remember that season I was in Italy, and I was watching like the games streaming on whatever site I could in Europe. I was like,
middle of the night.
Yeah. Basically, it was just like people thought I was like the crazy American, but you have
got
that
you
passion.
hooked.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you're into it, you're into it. Yep. So.
You're one of the co-founders of Ethereum.
Yep.
What about cryptocurrency made you want to be a part of it?
I think the freedom to transact, in the shortest way I can put it. We have a lot of freedoms, freedom of speech. I think freedom to transact should fall under that. If I want to barter or exchange goods or money or services with you, I don't really think that anybody else should have to jump in the middle and tell us yes or no. So at its core, it was a desire to like donate to somebody. And for whatever reason, PayPal and Google Pay, like sometimes they have issues. And when I tried to donate through them, they got shut down. So then once I started to understand the technology behind it and how that really resonates, at least with American cultural values, that this wasn't something I could like let go. As a technologist, I had the ability to impart change and positive things for the world with this, and felt the need to learn more, get involved, and through many, many steps led to being involved with Ethereum, and very blessed to have such an amazing opportunity and have made so many friends through that. But I don't know, there's something about a native internet money protocol that just makes a ton of sense to my technological brain. Like, why shouldn't our browser have $5 or $10 in it, like we carry in our wallet, and be able to pay microtransactions for reading articles online, or who likes typing their credit card numbers into all these forms, if there's a way to preload some money. And certainly cryptocurrency has the ability to fill that niche. Many other things could, but I'm also a huge advocate of open source and free technology, and not having things being proprietary and locked away behind companies all the time. So the transparency angle really gets me too. And my background was in database administration and some other areas that are really close to like what blockchain technology does. So it just felt like it was a great fit for me, and I had to jump at the opportunity.
All right, now explain cryptocurrency to me like I'm 5. We talk about crypto, but you've got a coin here from the 2014 Bitcoin Bowl, which featured your UCF Knights.
Yep.
We won't say the results of the game because I don't want to talk about it. But how awesome. In 2014, you said you were working on this, and we play in this bowl game. It had to be a full circle moment.
Absolutely. It was like surreal, I guess, is the best way to say it. I think I was traveling the world. Excuse me. I was traveling the world back from Europe, very excited. And to see the culmination of like this whole Bitcoin, Ethereum world come together with like my UCF Knights in St. Petersburg. And it's literally the Bitcoin Bowl. I was just like, was this event made for me? And then on top of it, they're selling a commemorative coin for the event. And I was just like, I have to get this. So I grabbed the coin. It's been in my collection ever since. What year was that, you said?
2014.
2014. So we're legitimately 10 years out now.
Yep. I think
decade.
This December it'll be 2014. We play the game on December 26th, 2014.
We're going to have a celebratory moment.
Taylor A. Gerring Football Center. How cool is that to hear?
It's pretty cool hearing it just now again.
What is this project mean to you? Why support this project?
I think being able to give back to the university in a way to show my appreciation for everything that's been provided to me, whether tangible or otherwise, to be able to inspire other students to try and achieve great things. I don't know that I ever had the specific goal of like my name on a building, but you can sure bet that when I walked around campus, I was like, that would be pretty darn cool, wouldn't it? So now that I'm here and able to do that, and it's like, this is also a rising moment for UCF, generally speaking. We just came into the Big 12 conference. We're continuing to make waves in many ways, improve our stadium, and to be a part of that whole experience and be able to drive that forward in a real visceral way. It's just really, really exciting. And hey, you're going to put my name on the building. Like, I'm not going to say no to that. So
you've seen the renderings. You just got to see the fly-throughs. Terry walked you through them.
Yeah.
How neat is it to see this building coming to life before your eyes?
It's almost like a dream. The renderings are super cool, very space technology forward, let's say. Mm-hmm. I love a lot of the mix of the indoor-outdoor space and kind of bringing the environment in. You can see with our background here, it's like I love being in nature. To be able to support that and see that happening is super duper cool.
What's your goal? What do you hope this goal inspires further in the UCF athletics community?
I'm hopeful that the community can see that there's a large trend here, and it's not just this small commuter school, or, you know, we've been growing for a long time. We've been seeing our athletics programs rise for a long time. We're starting to get a lot of notoriety in other events. We have for a long time been very competitive in a lot of areas, including computer science competitions, and I'm sure there's a lot of other programs I don't know about that are doing excellent. But every time I learn about one of these, it's just amazing to me how many numerous things that we've got going on. I mean, even the cheerleaders, right? Hospitality industry. There's so many areas that are happening of innovation-wise, and I think kind of completing or seeing forward Dr. Hitt's mission a little bit about educating as many students as possible. So this is just my way to, you know, throw my chip into the hat and do what I can at this moment in time as we are entering the new conference. There's a lot of momentum and excitement behind that, and hope to inspire some other big donors to jump in and help us reach those end goals that we're looking for.
You, with this gift, are going to hold the title of largest single donation to UCF athletics. Do you hope to hang on to that for a while?
I hope that my tenure as the largest gift donor will be the shortest possible. So if there's any other large donors out there that are thinking of making some donations, please, by all means, dollar top me. I'm more than happy for this to be a one-day event and have somebody else come in behind and take the leadership. I think that would be the most amazing, best possible result of this.
You know, people are going to hear, they'll see 5.5 in the release, but it's actually 6.5. Can you talk about the 1 million that you're helping to donate further, where that's going?
Yeah. So I'm very excited to be able to contribute to the NIL programs. Kingdom NIL needs a lot of support, needs a lot of help. We are far behind in the sense that we're a younger school and we don't have as much capital built up. We don't have as many older donors. Some of the donors that we have had didn't even necessarily go to UCF. So another area that I'm really excited to be able to join is, you know, I'm an actual alum who's then had a successful career and able to come back and donate. So, yeah, the extra $1 million is going to NIL. I did, I think, $300,000 last year, which was something that we really needed to help reach some of those goals last year, and hopefully did it in a way to help inspire others I know it's maybe not the easiest pill to swallow right now, but it's the game we have to play, not just on the field, but with recruitment, and there's a lot more variables. So this is one way that I can help. And just for the record, I guess, like this was a little bit of a lead up. Like I didn't intend to like necessarily donate at this level, but it started with, I think it was a $50,000 commitment for 5 years kind of thing. And that went straight into the education for student athletes fund. It's another big area that I was like passionate about, but yeah, one thing led to another. Here we are today with some really big numbers.
And I want to say UCF Athletics' first crypto donor gift.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I believe I was the first crypto donor to UCF Athletics, which for me is like another one of those like full circle moments. It's like I can actually donate in this Ethereum stuff I help like create in a way, and that goes to the school and helps. And I was just like, how cool is this?
That is a full circle moment. You may have already answered this, but did you ever think you'd be supporting UCF Athletics in this way when you stepped foot on campus back in the day?
Never in my wildest dreams. I mean, I think maybe 10 years out of school, I was like, is there some like alumni, like $50 a year kind of thing I can donate just to like stay involved and give something back? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not absolutely, every dollar counts. I guess what I'm saying is I just never imagined that I would have enough success in life. I never thirsted that much when I was younger to think I would have enough to donate to anybody. You know, I mean, $50 is $50, but to be able to give back so much, I think it means a lot to me to have earned that and not just spend it all on frivolous things, but it goes to help thousands of other students, whether they're student athletes inside of a building or whether it's education funding or whatever way that we can support. It makes me feel really great to give back again to the school who's given me so much.
And it's given you back. I hear you talk about, you've got a social circle now because of the Charge On Fund and the Kingdom. Talk about those relationships you've been able to build over these couple of years here.
Yeah, huge shout out to the major gift donor. I forget the exact title, but Chris Huff introduced me a bunch of other donors. And for where I'm at, to meet other people who have had their level of success in life and are able to give back. We have great conversations about where we're at in life and what we're doing in our jobs and how we're able to support UCF. And those conversations have furthered into like hanging out outside of UCF specific events. And it's been really, really great meeting lots of people throughout the football season and going to basketball games now. I'm meeting more people and block parties. And it's like every time I turn around, there's somewhere to go do something, somebody to hang out with. And no matter your age or like your background, there's always somebody to connect with in a different way. So that's been like super duper amazing. It's like every time I go somewhere, Chicago or Orlando, or there's always somebody that's a night, and you know, I'll be at the top of a mountain in Utah and get a charge on kind of thing. And then, man, go Knights. Love it.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite UCF sporting event memory or UCF event memory?
I got to say, one of my favorite memories was not actually in Orlando, but it was a UCF sporting event. It was, it wasn't a great result for us in the last couple of seconds of the game, but I had one of the best times of my life in K-State in Manhattan, Kansas, back in 2010, was it?
Yes.
We had the game interrupted by a massive storm. I was fortunate enough to have a friend who was born there and had a family there, so we had gone for the weekend and enjoyed thoroughly the morning in the parking lot, and then went into the game. And because I was sitting with K-State fans, I was the only UCF fan in the entire section, and I was absolutely balled out. I had like the flag on my back, like a Superman cape, and I was just running around being not too annoying of a fan, but
gold shirt, black shirt. People need to know this.
I believe it was a gold jersey.
Oh, man, people are going to love that.
I'm going to have to dig up the photo to verify. Yeah. And man, they were super nice and supportive. I mean, there was a good amount of like ribbing interfan kind of thing, but they were still like Midwestern nice. And I did feel a little bit of the stares at the end. And I was like, man, is this a good idea for me to be sitting in this section given the results of this game? So maybe it was better for my own safety and health that we lost in the last few seconds of the game. It was total heartbreaker.
It was only one of the most heartbreaking UCF losses ever. Like 56 minutes were like owning this game.
Yeah, competing at a level where we didn't really expect to be that competitive.
Yep.
And the late rain delay made it an extra long day. And I don't know, it sticks out in many, many ways.
No, that is before we played in that game to open Big 12 play. I think we saw that picture of the storm resurface on Twitter like 70 times. But Kansas State with the hospitality, I would put that up there. Is when we go back to Manhattan, people need to go back to that one, because that game, the atmosphere is probably number one on the road this year for us. And I can see back in 2010, like little Central Florida's visiting Manhattan, Kansas, and the glow up.
Yeah, it's a great environment. I think in part it's in similar respects to how Gainesville's centered around a university. Manhattan, Kansas is centered around the university there. So the environment is phenomenal. Definitely travel out there if you're able to.
And I'll leave you with this. What's next for UCF? That's a big picture one right there.
Ooh. It took us a little time to adjust to each conference move we made. But I'm really, really excited to see UCF performing at the top of the conference in the coming years. I know last year wasn't it. Maybe this year won't be it. But I know that we are going to be competing at that level consistently in the future, just like we were in the past. And I'm super duper excited to be a part of that, whether it's at the $5 level, the $50 level, the $5 million level. Just being able to be around the excitement and support the team, just buying game tickets and showing up to the games to support. All those little things matter. And that's why I keep going to games. No matter if we win or lose, I'm trying to help build that momentum, be there, see people, encourage people to go and build that excitement, because I don't think there's any stopping us at this point.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks, Eric.
Ciao, John.